shapes and sizes, covered in colors, always full of surprises, mothers and daughters. We love those compliments, you should just keep them coming all around the world. Girls.
So, Dua Lipa, Ollie Murs, Kylie Minogue, just some of the names that have been linked to you. Spotify, over 600,000 monthly listeners, Fulham Ladies, BBC Sport, and you've just appeared in a Jonas Blue track which has had more than 50 million views on YouTube. So I was thinking of the first question to ask you, and it seems obvious. Is there anything you can't do?
Yeah, I'm a really bad cook, actually. No, I don't know. I think I'm very, very lucky that I get to do, obviously, music and football, because I've got a lot of male cousins, and they're just like, can you just leave us one thing, Chel? Like, you were always the best at football, and now you've got into music as well. But yeah, there's loads of stuff I can't do, but I just got lucky with those two, I think.
How do you balance your time between doing all of those different things? Because that is a hell of a CV.
Yeah, it is hard, I'm not going to lie. And I always say, I'm not playing week in, week out of Fulham now. Like, the music has taken over, and since I've come into TV as well with BBC and on Match of the Day and stuff like that, it's hard to make training. But it's kind of just what I prioritise, If I'm in a session with Dua Lipa, that one song can make you a lot of money, maybe, Whereas female football, at the minute still, unless you're playing WSL, it's kind of hard to, keep the money afloat. So if I'm in with Dua, I can't be like, see you later, babe, got training. You finish that chorus alone. So it's just one of those prioritising. And then, I do try to make sure that I'm at football once a week, twice a week, to keep it up, because I still just love it, and it's a massive passion still. And it's also just really good for my mental state, Music's hard. It's, growing up, it's all I wanted to do, but then you get into it, and then you're living off your songs. You're only as good as your last song, but then you need to, okay, you've had a top 10, great, now go and do it again, because there's some kid banging on the door ready to take your place. So yeah, it's mentally draining. You get a call, Britney Spears might cut your song, and then a week later, oh no, it's failed now, and you're just like, so football, get on the pitch, 90 minutes, where's the ball, and it just takes me away from it, and then I get back to Britney.
So we know what you do, but how did you get there? Because songwriting, we know obviously you're a great singer and the path is well trodden into singing, but songwriting's not so clear. How did you get into that?
It was, honestly, I did fall into it. So I was signed at 18, played for Liverpool from when I was 9 till I was 17. Just wanted to be a footballer, and then, I'm 27 now, so that was a few years ago. Realised at that time, being a professional footballer for a woman, people still needed to have other jobs, and mine just so happened that I fell into music, and it was the only other thing that made me feel alive. And from 9 to 17, like I said, didn't get a penny, and then I turned 18, I'd done music for like 18 months, and I got a record deal, and I had 100 grand in my bank, and I was like, this is great, like, love it, see you later. So I left football for a while and just focused on music. I wrote an album, and then I always say, they're very similar, music and football for me. It's kind of like if you have a manager who signed you for a club, but then he gets the sack and a new manager comes in and you're not really his kind of player. It was like that at my first record deal. A guy signed me, he got sacked, someone come in. And I was fortunate that I didn't actually release any music, so no one really knew I existed. But I just got a bit of money. I got to, learn my craft and know what I wanted to make. And then I got dropped, really. It was one of them. I got dropped and I was like, what do I do now? And then I got a publishing deal, and he said, go away for a bit, write some songs. You've never really been in love. You've never had your heart broken. So I travelled for like 2 or 3 years and just wrote songs. And yeah, the first song Kylie Minogue picked up. And then from then it just switched. And I was on an album with Pharrell Williams and Sia. And then my Chelcee Grimes, I was in the credit, and I was like, what the hell? And it was just, I literally fell into it. And then after that, the phone started calling for me to jump on other people's albums as a writer.
What was the moment for you when you saw your name? Where was it? And you think, I've really made it now. People are going to know who I am.
I remember still to this day, I was in Copenhagen, and I was in, the room mustn't have been any bigger than this. Like, I could just stand up and like do a 360 swivel, and that was it. And I got an email, and Kylie Minogue's email was on the email, and I'd wrote that song that day. It was called Million Miles, because it was the first time I'd been away from home. And I wrote it about being away from home, a million miles away. And then they were like, Kylie's looking for some songs. maybe we should just send it to her. And I was like, 20 on, I was like, Kylie Minogue sound, yeah, whatever. And then that night I got into bed and they must have sent it to her. Straight away, she just wrote back and she was like, I love it. The next morning I went back into the studio and they were like, we've got something to play. And they played me her singing and I was in all the backing vocals and I was like, there's me. And it was just like, that's Kylie Minogue. And I think then also, I'd said, I'm going to be in music. I'm going to be a songwriter. And my family are like, okay. And then when I could just send that to my family and I was like, that's Kylie singing my song. I was like, all right, I'm actually doing it now. Yeah.
So you've mentioned previously that female footballers don't get paid as much as men, even if they're at really big clubs. So it kind of seems to make sense that you've gone into music. Would it be a harder choice for you if footballing was as big as the men's game?
Yeah, I think so. I always say, which is quite bad, but like if I was a guy, I probably would have been a footballer. If I'd been on a salary from the age of 14, 15, and I could put my parents up in a house and, football still for me does give me that same feeling as being on stage or if I'm in a session or if my song comes on the radio. Scoring a goal or just being on the pitch, it gives me that same buzz. So if I didn't have the choice because I did fall into music quite late, I probably would have been a footballer full time, yeah. But saying that, right now, the way the women's game's gone, I lived in France for the whole World Cup and that's when I started at the BBC. And, now there is stadiums full, 45,000 people, and it was super emotional to just see the growth of the game. And, all the girls now at City, Chelsea, or like I said, in the WSL, all the big teams, they've got sponsorship deals now and boot deals and it's televised and it's a different game from when I started. So now, I've got a 10-year-old sister and she plays. I sponsor her football team. And now, I say to her, what do you want to be? And she says football. I'm like, okay, well, you can be that now. Whereas, when I was 10, they'd say pick something else. That's not possible. So I think, yeah, it's just so cool where the game's got to now.
Who are your idols in football, women as well as men?
I mean, growing up for me, Rachel Yankee was like, and Kelly Smith. I was with her just yesterday, top goal scorer for England. And just, she stood next to me and I'm just like, Kelly, you don't understand. Like when I used to grow up, the only game that was on, a women's game, was the FA Cup final, and it'd always be like Arsenal and Fulham. Or they were basically the only two teams who had funding at the time. And Kelly Smith, Rachel Yankee, also Farrah Williams. I was at Tranmere Centre of Excellence with her. But all the girls who have, even if come from Liverpool, Alex Greenwood, Tony Duggan, now we're in the side, Nikita Paris. They're all inspirational because they never stopped, even when, the game wasn't at its peak. So I'm super excited and made up for them, really, that they've stuck it out and they've got what they deserve.
Now, we know quite a lot about you when you're doing work and when you're playing football and when you're doing music. What don't we know about you outside of work? Who are you away from floodlights and spotlights?
Literally, I'm a Taurus, so people just say like I love me food and I love me sleep. I'm a massive gamer, so if you follow me on Instagram, every Sunday or whatever, I've got a few hours to kill. It's going up. He wants to get battered on FIFA now. I am a big gamer. Obsessed with my Nintendo Switch at the minute as well. That's just like my favourite travel person. I don't need anyone else. If I've got my Switch, I'm perfect. So yeah, I think sleep and eating and playing computer games, that's me.
Your Time to Talk video that addresses lesbian relationships, is that you coming out to the world or is that you talking about something that you think we should see more of?
I think, you know what, I've always, when I was younger, I didn't struggle with it, but there wasn't any, I never turned on the TV and there was not like one gay artist or one female being like, yeah, I'm gay. And for me, I kind of struggle with that, struggling between this is really what I want as a career and also being like, well, is this allowed? Because like I'd never seen that on TV before. It was like, girls oiled up on a beach when I grew up in the 90s, J-Lo, and, having hot guys all over them, Beyonce, Booty Pop. And I was like, I can't do that. I just want to play guitar and be myself. Like, I think Pink and Avril Lavigne were like my closest to like thinking, oh, you can wear like, baggy pants and still be cool. So I think when I was making Time to Talk, that was about a relationship that I was in or whatever. And I just wanted to just be true to the song and true to myself. And like I said, I don't think I was brave to do it. I think there's been a lot more artists who've made me feel comfortable to do it. But yeah, I just didn't want to turn it into something it wasn't. That was the story, and it was about me and a girl, so yeah.
I know you're always late, so I'll wait. Say things we should have said before. I think it's time to talk. think it's time we sit down and just say what's going on. I think we should say everything that's right and that is wrong. 'Cause baby, I believe when everything is said and done, if we stay or if we walk, I think it's time to talk.
What kind of reaction have you had to it?
It's been really good. I think also if you listen to me songs that I've wrote, I spoke to someone about this a few weeks ago actually, and they said, you know, when we were listening to your songs, you never really ever said he or she. I always used to just say like you to be safe, although when I was young, like 18, 19 coming in, because a producer would just, you know, it's a very strange thing when you're writing a song with someone. Sometimes you've never met these people, but your publisher and their publisher sit down and go, well, we should put them in a room together. So it's kind of like matchmaking. And you sit there and then they just used to presume, they'd be like, so have you got a boyfriend? And I'd be like, no. And, you know, it's that awkward age, like I said, and these guys have got plaques on the wall and Grammys and all that. And you're just like, oh, and it always used to make me feel like a bit intimidated. And then until I got comfortable. And then I was just like, you know, I think now when I put that video out as well, I don't get that anymore. They're like, so are you dating anyone? I'm like, so yeah, it's just, I think it just come from me feeling comfortable, yeah, and just going with it.
And your songs, are they a lot about your life? Do you let a lot of your private life into it? Or do you kind of, where's your inspiration?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is real life. Like, it depends what day you catch me on. If I've had a lovely week, then I'll write loads of love songs. And if not so much, then yeah, you get the other side. But I think I write about everything really. Like I wrote a song a few weeks ago about a girl on a train just because she was like crying her eyes out. And I was wondering what she was crying about. And I got off the train, went in the studio, and I was like, I really need to write about this today. So if you're watching and you were upset, I've got a song about you. And
trying to not fall in love, is that something that's going on with you right now?
It was, but I failed at that. I actually ended up falling in love, so that was pretty pointless. But we got a few streams on Spotify, so get in. No, that was true, yeah. That was like one of the truest songs I've ever wrote. I was really trying to, you know, when you're into someone, you've just started dating. And I was in the studio with my friend Jamie. And he's like, what's been going on? I was like, oh my God, I met this girl. But you know what? I'm trying to not fall in love. And as soon as I said it, we both looked at each other and we were like, that sounds like a great title. And we just wrote the record. And then, yeah, I think I texted him like a month later being like, that failed. But we got a great song out of it.
What is coming up that we can get excited about? What are you going to do?
I mean, I'm going to try and bullet point right now because it's like I'm a bit here, there and everywhere. And I'm struggling to think if I've got enough time in the day for it. But I'm about to start a podcast, which I'm super excited about because, again, that's kind of like storytelling, just in another way. I love telling stories. Back on Match of the Day now, that just started on Thursday again. So back to it till the end of the season. New single for me is coming out on Friday, actually, which I'm excited about for that. Looking to Love, that's called. What else is going on? Obviously, just got a new song on the new Dua Lipa album, which I love that record that we've made together. Obviously, we wrote a lot on the last one. I think I've done 3 on that one. And when you become a massive superstar, sometimes you get forgotten about, and then you work with, you know, Calvin Harris and Mark Ronson and everyone, but we managed to find some time. We've got a really good song on that. And then also I've got this side project with me and my other 2 friends, which we're just about to sign a record deal for, which is like, I'm not going to say too much about that yet, but I'm really excited about that. So it's just another little lane that I'm going to try and discover down there. But yeah, it's good. I'm excited, and a lot more TV and stuff like that, yeah.
So you and Dua Lipa were friends before she became really famous. What's that like now?
She's still the same, you know. I think I always joke around because, you know, she used to just, when I first met her, she was like, hi, I'm Dua, nice to meet you. And I was like, hello. And she was like all excited to like be making an album. And, you know, now she just waltzed in, you're just like, there she is, everyone's like, way. And she's just, you know, she's a superstar, she is. But, you know, I don't cut her no slack. I definitely just, you know, talk to her like nothing's changed. So, yeah, she's the same, but just a lot more people know her now. We can't go to the Tesco for a meal deal no more.
Do you think that you will come to a point soon where you're going to have to choose what you want to do? You're doing so many different things when it comes to TV, songwriting, singing yourself. Which path are you trying to go down, or are you still just going down all of them?
Yeah, I think, you know what, as long as I enjoy something, I just think I'm going to do it. Whether it's, you know, I just don't want to pigeonhole myself too much and just be stuck to one thing. I think that's the amazing thing that I get to do now. I wake up and, you know, maybe it is one day I'm, like I said, I'm with Kelly Smith or Ria Ferdinand or whatever. Then the next day I'm in the studio with Duet or I'm writing a song for me. And then I get to do this stuff. It's just, I'm enjoying myself. And I think until someone comes and it's a crime to do more than one role, then I'll just keep doing it. Yeah, if it makes me happy, I'm going to keep doing it, yeah.
And if there's anyone out there who wants to follow in the same really busy footsteps as yours, what advice would you give them, be it football or songwriting or singing?
Oh, first advice, I'd be make sure that you just don't need much sleep, because that's definitely something that I don't have. And I think, yeah, just like I said, find something that you really enjoy and just don't stop doing it. Because like I said, you know, whether it be music, whether it be football, I never really thought I'd get back into football, but I just missed it so much and found my way back into it. And, you know, like I said, a kid at 9, when there was no money in the game at all, really, I'd done it as a passion. Now has led me on to, you know, be on Match of the Day and be doing all this other football stuff, which I would never have dreamed of because there was no women on Match of the Day when I grew up. So I think, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, love it, and the doors will just open and you'll find your path some way.
Good. Have a small test for you now.
Oh, God. Is it a game? I like games.
Right. These are all artists that you've written for.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to call this section Grimes Rhymes.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
And they are not songs that you've written, I hope.
Okay.
So otherwise it's going to be really easy. So I'm going to read you the lyrics and you're going to guess which artist they come from.
All right.
So
Can I get help from the crowd?
if they know the answer.
Crowd go wild.
I think it's time to talk.
So firstly, the dance floor's where I want to be, free EE to move, white picket fences frighten me.
White picket fences frighten me. Who sings that?
I do actually recognise that bit. Do you recognise it?
White picket fences. I don't know. Free EE is quite Kylie Minogue, but I don't know.
She's done it.
Is it Kylie? Yes. Kylie with the free EE. Yes, Kylie.
Okay, next one. That was Chiggy Wiggy by Kylie.
Yeah, I did not write that one, but maybe I should have.
Right, next one. I blame it on my body, got you obsessed. Do it all night, better give me respect. We're 20 deep up on this floor.
Oh, not 20 feet up, 20 deep
20
up.
deep.
Ooh.
Might be the cue for the bar or something. I don't know why there's 20 deep on the top.
Who do you think that is? I mean, I don't do it.
Louisa Johnson.
Oh gosh, terrible time there. Sorry.
Right, last one. She took me by the hand and away we go. She don't say a word, I can't say no, but she's talking dirty in Espanol. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Ooh.
Not a woman, this one.
Is it Jonas? Is it one of his songs? Who is it?
Ollie Mers?
Oh gosh. I thought he might have had like a Spanish feature on it or something. Well, I'm happy that they weren't my songs because that would have been really embarrassing. 1 out of 3.
1 out of 3 is not bad.
We love those